Welcome to the Space Beta, and thanks for trying it out. I really appreciate it. When you first launch Space, you'll be greeted by this little onboarding screen, and I recommend you to click the Demo Data button to help you get started quickly. You can delete those things afterwards, but and I think it might be nice to help you get started. So you'll start on the inbox screen, which is where you can collect your tasks. You can dump them there before you've organized or scheduled them. So click the plus button to create a new task. Very simple. Or use Command N to create a new task. Almost everything you can achieve with keyboard shortcuts. So if you're into that, then take a look at the menus to see what the shortcuts are. So moving on from the inbox, the second item on the left is the agenda, and this is basically your day view. So these are the tasks that you've scheduled for today, for this day. You can move forward in time and backwards in time using the arrows. Quickly jump back to today using this arrow button here in the middle. And when you want something to appear on this day screen, say something you have in your inbox, you can just drag it over and drop it on the agenda and it will appear here. You can also use the schedule button here, which will bring up a pop-up allowing you to select a date, a week, or you can use natural language to say, for example, in 3 weeks, and that'll work. I won't do it right now. Moving on from the agenda to the planner. The planner is basically your weekly view. So this brings together your list of tasks for the week on the left with each of the days of the week on the right. And for each day of the week, we show the list of tasks and your calendar. Now, as you can see, this is blank right now because I haven't added my calendar yet. So let's do that right now. Clicking on the arrow opens up the accounts view where I can add a Google account. I'll need to log in and give Space access to my Google accounts, Google calendars. By default, we enable the primary calendar, but I'll also select a few others. The primary calendar is also the calendar where by default tasks will be scheduled. If you want to change that, you can do that under the scheduling tab, where you can see what the default calendar is and change it if you want. Because what you can do now is schedule stuff on your calendar. So say, let me just quickly delete that. That's a leftover from a previous take. Let's say I want to schedule this task for now. Let's do it now. Ask Terry about her trip to Malaysia. So when I've put this on the calendar, it really lives on the calendar. So if I move over to view my Google Calendar, you can see that this task is now here. And this is also great for, if you're working with other people, you can actually schedule tasks on your calendar and that will block time, hopefully preventing them from planning a meeting at the same time. So you can open up a task in a detail view where you have access to your notes. You can see how much time you have left, etc. You can also access this detail view when you edit a task here. So you'll have the same way to get to those details. It's accessible everywhere, basically. As I said, on the left, you have your weekly tasks. Now, how you use these is completely up to you. You can use the weekly tasks to keep a list of the most important stuff you want to get done during the week, and then plan those out on specific moments by dragging these tasks onto your calendar. That's an option. You can also use the weekly list as a dumping ground for the stuff you want to get done in the week, but don't know when exactly yet. And then during your week, as you get busy, you start dragging these to specific days where you actually want to do the work that is mentioned there. Both can work. It's up to you to figure out what works best for you. There are a couple other ways in which you can organize your tasks. As you can see here, File TPS report has a little smiley with a sunglasses icon emoji on it, called work demo and then TPS report. So those refer to areas and projects. On the left-hand side, you have your areas and projects, and So how this works is areas are basically ongoing categories of your life, like work or personal life or social stuff or marketing or however you want to organize this. Projects are closed-ended, finite goals that have an end date, usually a specific amount of work that you need to get done in order to finish a project, and the project is done, and you can close it and forget about it essentially. So it's not ongoing. That's a big difference. Um, I can add a new area as an example. I'll call this personal. And you can see that by default, these have sort of a honeycomb pattern as an icon. But for areas, you can change that by clicking on it and select an emoji if you think that better captures that area. For projects, it's a little different. They always have this pie icon to represent them because that shows you the progress of your project. So we have one completed task, one incomplete task. So the project is 50% finished. If I complete this task, it'll fill up completely, as you can see. If I uncomplete both, it'll go all the way to 0. So that is how projects work. And of course, you can schedule work that is organized in a project in the agenda, in your planner, on a day, on a week. That's all fine. You can see that this one is scheduled for this week. I can also right-click it and quick schedule it for today, which will change the scheduling. And now when I go to my agenda, it'll be right here. Also, when I go to my planner, it'll be right here. I hope this explains the basics of Space. If you have any questions, let me know. Good luck trying out the beta. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you like, what you hate. Yeah, looking forward to your feedback. Thanks for taking a look.